Hey guys, hope you're doing good. So, I've been getting a lot of people in the program asking me like, "Hey, what books should I be reading? What are the best books that you recommend? What are the best things that I should be consuming to become better at building businesses, to become better at creating content, to become better at being a communicator, becoming better at just at everything, becoming a better human." Okay, but for me, the reason why, if for you guys who are going through the program or the content, the reason why I don't suggest stuff is because it's hard for me to suggest books because I don't associate success to one single book. It's almost like asking me like, "Hey, do you remember the day that you brushed your teeth the longest?" I don't fucking know. All right? I've been on this earth for many days, so I wouldn't be able to know, right? So here comes my advice. If you want to be good at business, you're going to need to consume more than the next guy. When I say consume, I'm not talking about consume like these online gurus who keep putting out YouTube videos like me, or like anyone whose job is just to create content. They're actually not doing anything that you could learn from, because what they're telling you is they're going ahead and learning shit and then going ahead and just repurposing it. But the issue with that is that you don't get depth in the actual information that you're like. Someone who's done it and who shares it with you can use analogies that someone who's just learned it and can teach it to you again can't. I'd rather learn from someone who's done it than someone who's just learning it and then creating content around it. So for me, one of the best things that I've started doing is actually not read any books, right? I know it's pretty crazy, but I prefer doing that. The best thing that I try to do is listen from actual people who are killing it in their arena, right? So I do read books, okay? And I'll go over some of the books that I recommend reading, because there are some amazing books from people who you can't really get on podcasts. Okay, so podcasts have been the source of a lot of my perspective, like a lot of the knowledge that I've acquired in the last. I think I listen more to podcasts than in the last 6 months I've been just implementing everything. I've taken a break from learning, but 2021, 2020, 2019. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, and the benefit with podcasts is that you get people who get invited to give away as much insight in a single hour as they can. So they're not going to be talking about stuff that is not actually important. Okay, they're going to be giving you some of the best insights that you could ever, learn. You could ever get your hands on. Okay, so to me, honestly, one of the best podcast is The Knowledge Project. Okay, what I will do is I'll give you guys a few episodes from this podcast that I think have made me a better thinker, a better decision maker, a better business builder. Okay, and the funny thing is, most people who come on here are not entrepreneurs in the space that we're in. Most of the time you'll be getting people like I don't know. Like an example of a guy that has an amazing podcast, like an episode that's really good, is this one, Jim Collins. Okay, he's not an entrepreneur; he's actually a teacher. But what he's done is that he's went ahead and learned from what makes great companies great. Okay, and he's learned from what made Amazon a great business, what made guys like Steve Jobs, like what made those companies great. Okay, and he's created a book called Good to Great. I did not read that book, but I listened to this 2-hour episode and I learned everything in that book in just 2 hours. Okay, what I like to do is I like to go on a drive and I like to play it or go for a walk and just fucking make love to these fucking insights. I fucking love this episode. Okay, if you want to win, this episode is worth probably more than you've paid for this program alone. Okay, so make sure you check it out. Steve Schwarzman, the CEO of Blackstone, is a hedge fund. They're worth a few billions for sure. I think it's worth like 23 billions. Scott Adams, great guy, thinks he's pretty smart. Mike Maples, he's a VC. He's the founder of Floodgate, okay? He invests in companies, okay? And he goes over the decision-making process that they use to pick companies to invest in, okay? Who would you rather learn from someone like me who's just ran one business, or would you rather learn from someone who's invested in billion-dollar businesses before they actually became billion-dollar businesses, right? They invest in ideas, right? So I like to learn from people who have a lot more reference points, okay? And it just gives me a bigger overview, it just gives me a bigger perspective than to be lost in the trenches of being an agency owner or a consultant, or the games that we're currently playing is so small that once you start looking at how these guys make decisions, I think one of the most recent person that he got as a guest was another guy, Mark Andreessen, Silicon Valley icon, who also has invest in companies. And he was saying that they will put $100 million in a company just to make it work, right? That's the type of money you want to be playing with, okay? Just be okay, you know what? I'll put $100 million in your idea because I believe in it, okay? Another guy who's probably really fucking smart, Chamath Palihapitiya, or I don't fucking know his last name. That's an amazing podcast, okay? If you want to see how he thinks and change your thinking, go ahead and listen, right? This is an amazing podcast too, right? Probably one of the best. You end up seeing, the psychology behind successful investing. You end up realizing how he thinks because he used to work for Facebook, okay? And he had a share in the company. So when Facebook became as successful as it is, he got out with a lot of money, okay? But he was there when people were building Facebook. Wouldn't you want to be maybe 5% as good as the people who founded Facebook, right? Look at how they built their talent. Look at how they found how they hired people, how they decided on what projects are going to be focused on, right? Although this episode doesn't really focus on that, but I like the way that he's always investing for down the line, okay? And you're going to see that a lot of these bigger people, who've made billions, they're not thinking like us, where we're just trying to make money this month. We're just trying to build a successful business, make $10,000, $100,000 a month. They don't think like that. What their mindset is all about: a decade from now, can I be worth a few billions? The decision you make from someone who's just trying to make $100K a month versus someone who's trying to build a $1 billion business a decade from now are two completely completely separate worlds, right? So this one is good. I'm not going to be able to save every single episode, so hopefully you'll just go. I'm going to surf through the episodes that I really liked, and then you can just come back to them from just looking at this loom, okay? Another one that was good. The Role of Algorithms. She's great. She's a mathematician. I really liked it because I just like people who are smart, and I like to see the way that they think. Bill Ackman, founder of, he's also a hedge fund manager, and he talks about how I think he was betting against a company called, it's an MLM company, it's called, I forget what it was. Anyway, I forgot what it was, but you guys, you'll hear it if you watch this episode. It's really good. You'll get to see the way that he thinks about failure. You'll get to see the way that he makes decisions. Okay. 0 Day. I don't think I've ever watched that one. And by the way, when I go through these episodes, if I don't like it, if I feel like it's not really getting me excited, I just skip it. Okay. So you guys don't have to necessarily watch all these episodes, because some people are just smart in areas that are not really valuable for me. Okay, so one advice that I can give you is get smart in things that excite you. Because if you're just trying to learn shit that doesn't excite you, how do I go about coding, right? No, I don't want to be great coder. That's not exciting to me, right? So I'm probably not going to be the best at it. catalyzing success, right? This is the guy that former Y Combinator partner. I think Y Combinator, they also help entrepreneurs build like businesses. And then he goes over like talking about, you know, what actually makes great entrepreneurs and what makes great companies and how to actually create success in a way. So that's good to watch. That's the shit that you want to be watching. Like outreach, building offers, that's the baby stuff. Like that's just like whatever, you know. Josh Wolf, Inventing the Future. I don't know if it was good. These 2 episodes from Adam Robinson, amazing, beautiful. The Mental Habits, The Path of Perpetual Progress, Thinking About Thinking. Yeah, probably good. I like it. Thinking in Algorithms, probably another good episode. And you're getting better by being wrong. Oh my god, this episode is amazing. Okay, she's a former professional poker player, and author of a new book. I think what I really liked about this book, and I'm gonna try to see if I can fucking remember it, but is she said something that was really, and you know, I think I used this when I was last quarter, when we were starting this quarter that just ended, is I listened to an episode where she says, for those who don't know, when someone dies in a hospital, there is something called pre-mortem, where they review like, why did this person die? Okay, they look at everything that led to the things that, you know, like what happened that made this person, like what are the set of steps that happened to just like this, you know, we didn't get to save this patient. And then they make a list of everything that happened, not necessarily to be like, oh, you know, you not necessarily to judge the doc, like, hey, why don't you do this right? Why don't you do this right? No, but because they want to know what made the person die, so that they could next time they actually stay away from those things. Okay, and I think Warren Buffett said something along the lines of like, hey, tell me where I'm going to die, and I'll try to stay away from there, right? But the way that she said it was so well, because she was like, you know what? Instead of being a business owner who's always just trying to do new stuff to try to get to a specific outcome, okay? How about you use this set of like scenario? Okay, so build a scenario where you're like, hey guys, it's 2023. Our goal was to build a 7-figure business, but we failed. Okay? And then build a list of everything that kept you from not building a 7-figure business. Okay? And you need to visit all the departments of your business. It could be acquisition, it could be outreach, it could be the content you're putting out, right? Like what would happen in order for content not to convert? You put down as a point. What would have happened for outreach not to work, and for our outreach, for our VAs, for our growth team not to get us the amount of meetings required? Write down those things. Like what would keep you from not succeeding with outreach? Write it down. What would make us fail when it comes to our offers? Like what would be the offer that keeps us from not having a good offer? Write down all those offers, because you're not just going to have one offer that would keep you from not seeing success. And then you're going to have sales, right? You're going to have sales calls. Well, like, what is one way of fucking up a sales call? And then you're going to have that, okay? You're going to have everything lined up, and then you're going to have everything that would keep you from not building a 7-figure business. But you've made the list of all of the wrong ways of doing things. Now, once you have that, all you have to do is just, for God's sake, build infrastructures that make sure that every single point never happens. For me, that's what I've done for my business. And, you know, for those who keep up with our revenue, we're kind of like doing okay. We're growing, we're doing fine, but it has not came from me trying to like do more shit. It has came from me realizing that, hey, this could actually keep us from not growing. This could actually really hurt us. And I've built an infrastructure to make sure that this shit never fucking happens, okay? It's not even about building infrastructure. Sometimes it's getting on a call with the people on your team, right? A lot of you guys just think that you're going to build a team and then like somehow these people are going to fucking make you successful. That's not the fucking case. People need consistent support. People need consistent reminder that, hey, like, we need to support our customers. We need these meetings. We need better quality meetings. Let's sit down. Let's figure it out, right? So sometimes it's like not speaking with your team could probably be the reason why you're broke. Because these people don't even know why the fuck they're on your team. Okay, and sorry for cursing, but I like to curse, so hope you don't mind. Okay, but this video is becoming longer than I thought, but it's good. It's good. I like it. Hopefully you guys will like it too. To be honest, this podcast will make you an 8-figure entrepreneur. Because most of these guys are billionaires. So at least you could make 10% of what they make, you know. But yeah. What else? Just doing nothing. Luck. Okay, no, we'll skip this. Thinking about thinking. We've already skipped this one. Earning your stripes. The truth about lies. I'm feeling like giving away all these secrets is going to be a bad thing. But I think you guys need this to actually become really great. Ray Dalio is good. Listen to this one too if you haven't read his book. And probably the best, or maybe the top 3 is Naval's episode with him, which is 3 hours. Okay? 3 hours of content.
Honor to my libertarian.
3 hours of content that will probably change your life. Okay?
Honor to my libertarian instincts that everyone should be free.
And that's it. If you guys can just go through these episodes that I just lined up for you guys, like, I think you become like a danger for society. Okay? You become the person who achieves their goals without even waking up in the morning. Okay? I'll give you this one podcast. To be honest, it's enough. Now, when it comes to books, maybe you don't need power texting women. I downloaded this book, but it's so fucking bullshit. It's some fucking crazy stuff in it. But if you want to learn how to text women, be my guest. And for women watching this, I'm just trying to be good at texting you guys, okay? Don't mind me. Tools of Titans, amazing book. But the best of all is... it's not here. It's not here. It's not here. It's not here. It's called Charlie Munger, Darwin. Seeking Wisdom. This is probably the best book I'd suggest. You don't need to buy it. You can go and find a PDF version of it. Perfect book. Amazing book. Okay? And as much as you guys will see, these books are not about businesses. It's like most of you guys, or for me, the thing that hurt me the most when I was starting out is that I was trying to be the best at business, find the best niche, find the best fucking outreach message, but the issue is not that you don't know the thing. The issue is that you don't know how to think about the thing that you need to be doing. If you change your thinking, everything changes. One book that was great is the second one I'd recommend, Invent and Wonder by Jeff Bezos. Wonderful book. Okay? Because you get to see what building actually is. Okay? He's like a fucking machine of consistent improvement. Okay? And he keeps improving. And it's just like, he's not even thinking about money. They're making like $26 billion in their first year or second year. And the guy reinvests everything. He's like, hey guys, hey investors, our goal is not to, make you rich, to be honest. Our goal is to help our customers. And hopefully one day that will make you guys rich. And the guy is worth a few six, like 100 billions and shit, which is pretty great. So, Invent or Wonder, beautiful one. Alex Hormozi, of course, if you haven't read that about offers. Pitch Anything, great book. I think it's a great book around selling. Okay. Hooked, really good. If you want to learn how people build apps that get you hooked. If you want to be good at building teams, Who, A Method of Hiring. Okay. Consultant Next Door, if you're ever interested in understanding consulting and transitioning to that area. Consultant Next Door is a good small book. Multipliers, if you want to become an amazing leader and understand that it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about the people that we inspire to do the work. Okay. The Motive, also a good book. It goes over like the motive of being a leader. Like it has a great twist around it and what it takes to become an actual amazing leader. Charlie Munger, Life Lessons. I don't even know if I've read this. Okay, I have read it. Oh, Life Lessons. Of course, you should read this. Oh yeah, of course, Life Lessons. Of course, yeah, you should read that too. University of Berkshire Hathaway. I guess this is them going over the different meetings they had around scaling Berkshire Hathaway. It's just good to learn from bigger people, you know, like these guys make like 19 billion of profit every quarter, you know, and they're a team of like 11 people. If there is someone to learn from, then these are the guys you should be learning from. Like stop. I know, and the reason why I say stop learning from smaller people is not because they don't have anything they can teach you, but it's because they can't inspire you to a level that these guys can. It's good to see someone making 100K a month and be like, oh my god, that would be so good. I would be able to get a nice car. I'd be able to fly anywhere I want. But it's like, what if you made 5 billion every month? Like, you can't even, like right now you can't even fathom it. And that's the shit for me. That's the shit that excites me. Because it's like, whoa, like, okay, let's take a step back. Let's actually like break things down. Like I'd love to be able to have a picture where I can see myself making 5 billion a month. Because if you make 5 billion a month, you can change people's lives for real. You can go to Asia, you can go to Africa, you can even go down to your neighborhood or the worst neighborhood in your city and literally build neighborhoods, right? But if you're making 100K a month, like, trust me, next year you won't be able to pay guys making 100K a month, okay? So hopefully you guys found it beneficial. Another little podcast that I like to listen to is as you guys see, I'm trying to learn TikTok for y'all, okay? I'm trying to be good at TikToking. I'm just trying to get insights and get different. Daily mind medicine is good. And that's it. As you guys see, I stopped literally even listening to podcasts, okay? Because I've been just doing shit. You know, I don't have time to be spending my days learning. You gotta build. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If this was good, leave me some feedback in Discord, okay? And I love you guys. Let's get to work.